What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chewed Up and Spit Out. As always, I'm Just Dusty.
I'm still Jeff.
And I'm Timmy, a.k.a. the Fat Chef.
And with us, we have a very special guest all the way from the big city.
AJ. Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn in the house.
Hey, thanks for joining us, AJ. Glad you could pop on by.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Well, geez. Okay, so, damn, you've served in New York for quite a number of years. Was it like 10 or something like that?
About 10. Correct. From about, 19 years old to about 29.
Righto. Damn, what's it like feeding the big wallet people in New York, you know?
It's almost what you think it'd be. It's a little shit show.
Yeah.
They deserve the world, they think.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about them. It's just people all over the world. You know, they think they're from there, even if they just moved there. They have. You know, a lot of people are. Oh, you know, I just moved here a year ago, but you know, if they have money, they feel like they can talk to you a certain way, which is.
I think that's halfway typical everywhere.
I think anybody with money, that's typical.
Yeah.
True.
I do wonder if it's a thing, like if all of a sudden you have a certain amount of money and it just like breaks a barrier in your head. Like
Overnight.
that much money that you just look at a stack of money that big and you're like, something's wrong. I don't give a fuck about people anymore. All of a sudden, fuck you. Where's my shit? Yeah.
You're raised well, went to church, and you were raised a good boy, and then all of a sudden, you know, you come out of college, you know, with no money, and all of a sudden they're like, all right, so we're going to pay you six figures, and you're like, the fuck yeah, you are.
Fuck yeah. I fucking earned
I
it.
fucking deserve this.
You're going to pick up my parking meter too, right?
Yeah. Valet parking just overnight. Jeez. You don't even have a car.
Yeah, you're still. Can you valet park the bus for me?
Oh God.
See, I don't really care about people, but I treat my, service people like they should be because they're not fucking slaves. But also, fuck most people.
Yeah.
Yeah, with you on that one.
Amen.
I tip minimum 20%. And if I don't like the food, I won't tell them about it. I'll just say, okay, you know, here's 20%, and I'll never go back again. You know.
Yeah.
There's that joke by like Woody Allen. I think it's from Annie Hall. This is pretty much New York summed up, where like, you know, two broads are like, oh my God, the food here is disgusting. And the other one goes, I know, in such small portions. It's like, why are you complaining about the size of the portion if the food's, you know, food sucks?
I mean, the really cool thing about New York, though, is you can find some of the greatest deals in food and some of the most amazing if you just, like, go into the cultural neighborhoods and go to, like, little hole-in-the-wall shitholes. You get the best shit ever.
Oh, I mean, you know, you go to like Flushing, Queens, right? Or you go to certain places in Coney Island, and even like, you know, I met your mother 30 minutes ago, and you know she was like, "Oh, the best Italian foods in Brooklyn and New Jersey, and Hoboken," and I was like, "That's exactly right." You know, you're not going to go to Midtown Times Square and have the best lasagna of your life. You know, you're going to be like, "What the fuck is this, Marie?"
Yeah.
You mean it's not in Wisconsin?
Yeah. Actually, I think it's in Florida.
Florida.
I think Tampa Bay has the best lasagna in the world.
Oh,
Oh.
That's not true, by the way, if you're listening to this. That's not true. So anybody from Florida, okay, go fuck yourself.
What did you come down to Florida for? The sun? The beach? Nah, the fucking lasagna. Is that not a thing?
Wait, y'all don't have spaghetti bolognese here?
Why is everything fried? We got fried lasagna. Is that what you're looking for?
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, man, all the Guidos, once they get old, they just go to Florida. That's where you go to die.
That's true. That's where Jack Kerouac went to die.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
St. Petersburg, Florida. He used to go to a bar. He used to go to a bar called Flamingo. I've been there. I've actually broken into his house that nobody lives in.
whoa.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Random story. On the road, Jack Kerouac, Big Sur. I was dating a girl, and we were down there on vacation, and I had read somewhere that like Jack Kerouac used to have a house, and one of her friends down there was like, "Oh my God, you know, it's kind of open. It's almost like a museum." And I said, "Oh, like to the public?" And she goes, well, no. And I was like, then it's not a museum. She's like, yeah, the grass hasn't been mowed in 40 years. And I was like, I just want to go see it. She's like, oh, you can actually go inside. And I was like, are you sure? So we pulled up to this address, and once we got there, she's like, yeah, you just have to hop the fence and go through the back gate. And I was like, this is not a thing. I kid you not. I showed up, and you can read about it online. So much stuff that he has is still there, and the whole joke behind that is like, you have to leave something in order to take something. You can't just take something. Okay. So you have to have something Jack Kerouac worthy, or you have to have like a pair of his,
that's pretty cool.
A pair of his your mom slept with him, and here's his jeans, and you got to leave them there, and then take a t-shirt.
Take a new pair of jeans.
Right. Yeah. I obviously had nothing of Jack Kerouac, but I did have a rare book of On the Road, and that got me through.
Like first edition or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, and it just got me through life, I guess, when I was poor in New York. And I left that, and what I took was in his garage. I was still skeptical, like, is this really his place? And I went into his car, all right, and that's where he went to die. And I opened up the glove compartment, and the registration, it said Stella Kerouac, which is his last wife. Mm-hmm. So I left the book, and I took the registration.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the worst part about that story. I fucking lost it.
Oh
no. God damn it.
Yeah, so that's...
I thought you were going to say you just went and signed it over to yourself, did a $1 bill of sale, and then had the car towed. Right. It's just parked in Kerouac. So I don't know how it got there.
Right. And then 30 minutes later, I had the best Italian food I've ever had.
Yeah. Right on. Oh, man, that's a good one. Shit. Like, I'm trying to double back. Like, well, I guess I stayed in Henry Melville's cabin outside of Big Sur,
Sure.
Speaking of Kerouac, I think my favorite book of his was Dharma Bums.
Okay.
I really dug that one.
Oh, yeah.
It's still in my bookshelf.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I was found myself outside of a Carmel by the Sea, and I stayed in the same cabin that Henry Melville,
wow.
wrote in. So it's about as close as I got,
right.
Something like that. Besides just cooking for random fucking celebrities. You know.
Have you cooked for a lot of celebrities?
They pop up. You'd be surprised,
Give me top 3.
Well, one of my favorite ones, obviously
he's like Shia LaBeouf.
No.
Yeah. He did this weird thing. He came in and put on a blindfold and sat naked in the middle of the restaurant, and we just had to put things in his mouth. A real particular celebrity.
He says things.
Do you guys play Who's in Your Mouth?
Yeah.
My favorite all time was Sam Elliott. He is
way.
a classy dude. I mean, he came in the restaurant, sat down, ordered like a random Joe, and he was dressed exactly like he walked off the set of Big Lebowski. He ordered a bacon and blue cheeseburger with caramelized onions, cooked medium.
Fuck yeah, beef is what's for dinner.
Wow. Exactly. And like
I would have been mad if he ordered chicken or something. Can I get a Cobb salad with chicken? The fuck you can.
Yeah. I'm a vegan.
Yeah. He's like dressing on the side, please.
Dressing on the side.
No, like
chicken salads.
He's a class act, He's a definite class act.
I don't think I need to know the other two if you just drop that name.
Well, that's number one, I'll give you another one, which was just fucking hilarious. Gavin Rossdale, singer of Bush or whatever, he popped in, ordered some fish and chips and a Stella. His hot-ass wife, Gwen Stefani, how do you pronounce her name? She was doing a show down the street,
Gwen Stefani?
That's what I was about to say. Her name was Gwen. She was hot. I'm like, the only Gwen I know that's hot with a name like Gwen.
Gwen Stefani? I don't know.
But that one was a pretty funny one because it was a semi-open kitchen, and he sat at the bar, which is maybe 8 feet away from where I was cooking at.
Right.
And I couldn't help myself. I just started like cracking jokes with the other line cook, like, hey, can you pass me some of that glycerine over there? We're just going back and forth about shit like that.
So good.
Don't be a machine head. I mean, just go ahead and just make the meal, all right?
Make the meal, yeah. Oh shit! The both of them too. If you had the both of them, because she's no doubt. You know, you could have had you could have had whole lines of just puns.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yo, that girl's no doubt.
No doubt.
No
but
doubt
no,
that
literally,
girl's
no doubt. Yeah.
Oh, she's just a girl.
Yeah.
She's just a girl.
She's just a girl in the world. That's all. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Girl's bananas.
You should have just sent him out some bananas.
That would have been so
Here's
funny.
some bananas glazed with glycerine. Boom, I'm out. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, needless to say, he did not stick around for another beer after his fish and chips, but
so funny. I don't know who I have multiple celebrities that I've served on. One of my favorite ones is I was working in Times Square at a place called Virgil's Barbecue. And I was 19 and I was, I moved to New York to be an actor. And I realized if I had to audition, if I needed time to audition, I would have to get a night job. And the only thing that made sense was, slinging tables.
okay, Ryan Reynolds.
Exactly. Oh boy, we're gonna get to some stories. But I'll never forget. It was just when the Hangover movies kind of came out, and Zach Galifianakis, Zach Galifianakis, was at the height of his fame. And I'll never forget. He was sitting by himself, wearing a beanie, and you don't mistake Zach Galifianakis. and I just walked up to him slowly, and he was in my section, and I was spazzing out, and I said, "Excuse me, are you Zach Galifianakis?" And he just looked at me and just said, "Absolutely not." and I slowly was like, "Okay." And I was like, "That's not him." And they were like, "That's fucking him.
That's so him.
Yeah. And I just like how he just looked at me so quietly and just said, "Absolutely not." That was a good one.
Yeah.
Nice.
He tipped well.
Good.
He tipped
Good to know.
Yeah.
He tipped well. So Zach, if you're listening to this, which I know you are,
Yeah. Of course, he's got to be by now.
thanks
yeah.
for the tip.
Speaking of celebrities, I guess a while ago we dropped some. Well, we don't really care for Bobby Flay that much, And,
We've dropped some heat on Bobby Flay.
Have we dropped heat on Bobby Flay?
Throughout the course
Can
of
I
the
tell you,
podcast.
I was mentioning David Burke to you guys.
Yeah.
He hates Bobby Flay.
Nice.
He hates Bobby Flay. I used to work for David Burke at this restaurant called Woodpecker, which is, I don't know why. I used to just call it Woody's. But David Burke, I think David Burke hates anybody who's not him.
Okay, that makes some sense.
You know what I mean? But he used to just roast Bobby Flay. So I'm so
as you
happy.
should.
I'm so happy that you guys are. We're on the Bobby Flay shit train here.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck Bobby Flay.
Team fuck Bobby Flay over here.
On the count of three, let's say fuck Bobby Flay, all four of us. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck Bobby Flay.
Yeah. That's some synchronicity.
Yeah, so Dusty was dropping some shit on Bobby Flay's Twitter account, and basically put a link to one of our episodes. I think it was called like Bobby Got Flayed, and out of all people, like some guy named Keanu Reeves liked the link.
Who?
Keanu Reeves, that guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
No way. Is this real?
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, I'm not sure if it's a real Keanu Reeves, but it was
Account?
It wasn't the Twitter that he got back to us. It was I think it was either Facebook or Instagram.
Was it verified?
we looked it up.
Yeah.
I mean, we went to his fucking page or whatever, and there's this bunch of screenshots. Straight a
Keanu Reeves stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it was fake Keanu Reeves, awesome.
It's still cool. Yeah, it still gives us something
It's like his 33rd, fan page.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, Keanu Reeves 33 hates Bobby Flay.
hates him. Yeah. Well, it was funny too because I didn't realize. So it was whichever it was on Instagram or Facebook. I basically called him out and told him we're gonna basically beat him at anything. Challenged him. And
as far
said
as
he can't.
food goes.
Yeah, and
culinary
said
world.
basically, I said you can't have a show called "Beat Bobby Flay" and not take a challenge. Like, where you at, Bobby?
Right.
And and I didn't realize too that it was not his original post. He had just reposted something from the Food Network. So that's how Keanu Reeves would have found it so easy. If you're looking at anything on the Food Network, turns out me calling out Bobby Flay was just floating around up on the list like, hey, Bobby, where are you at, bitch?
See, so now that I have this background story, it's starting to sound like 16 Keanu Reeves as opposed to 33 Keanu. We're getting closer.
Yeah.
We're getting closer to the
Closer
real Keanu.
to the real Keanu.
Hell yeah. One day you guys are going to go nuts when it's the first fan page of Keanu. You're going to be like, we made it to number 2.
Yeah. Well, we also called out after that. I called him out again. I think I just sent him an actual direct message with all of the fucking specifics, and I was like, "Hey, we've been harassing you a lot, but this is how you can fucking man up. You know, contact me here. You come to Colorado, pizza cook-off
Durango,
competition.
Colorado.
The best pizza cook I've ever seen versus you in a pizza cook-off blind taste test." Keanu Reeves on the judges panel.
Oh,
no one will
my
question
God.
Keanu's decision.
No, of
and
course
then
not.
all 33 Keanu show
All
up.
33, and there's actually 33, and that would make so much sense
Yeah.
too. It's like, that's how you get so much done. All your pictures of her are you riding motorcycles, but you work all the time, and you have a family.
Dusty's like, thank y'all for making it.
Yeah,
Well, he might have like stolen a page from Mr. Smith's book and just cloned himself a bunch. You know?
I think that's the trick.
That's what he could do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the one.
he's the one.
I've done myself. There's already one too many of me.
There's
Yeah.
only one of you.
As
There's
far
only
as
one of
we
you.
know,
There's only one of you.
what if
I
there
know,
is
that's
another
why-
Timmy walking around?
Not walking around.
Yeah, laid up in another different hotel room.
For those of you who don't know, Timmy just had surgery here in Durango,
Yeah.
Colorado, and he's on the couch. But
Yeah.
he's
Yep.
here.
He's here. He's still near to us.
He's in my ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a mile away.
I met his mom. He's real.
He's real, yeah.
I mean, I'm almost as real as Jeff's imaginary friend Jeffro, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, you've heard Jeffro, or the paid actor we got to sound like Jeffro.
I mean, you just had somebody talk to me and say they were Jeffro. It doesn't mean that that's the actual person I was speaking to.
It could have been his clone.
Jeffro number 14.
Yeah, it was Jeffro 14.
Jeffro
yeah.
14. This isn't even AJ Urias 1. This is AJ Urias 88.
We deal with fan pages here.
I'm just a walking fan page.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's how you get on our show, folks.
You got to be a walking fan page.
Yeah. Don't bring your real self.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Real selves can be incriminated. Fan pages, however.
Exactly. I cannot believe, coming from Brooklyn, New York, I am in Durango, California, with you three gentlemen right now doing what I'm doing. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
Right on. It's great to have you.
Yeah.
Awkward silence.
No, we're glad to have you. We're
I'm
glad
so
have you,
happy
yeah.
to be here.
It's been a good 10 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, goddamn! I got Timmy plugged into the buttons. I was gonna do the womp womp womp.
I'm so happy to be here. Well, that's all we have tonight,
well,
folks.
folks, it's been fun. Yeah. No, it's great to have you, and it's great to have some big city perspective. You know?
Yeah, let's get more into the kitchen stuff. Jeff and I have been talking about it a little bit at the bar, about front of house, back of house, and I think we can all agree, maybe globally, there's a major difference. And you could talk about ownership. You could talk about certain types of badass chefs and the rap that they have. Hot hostesses usually at your restaurants.
Barely of age.
Barely of age, right? Whoa, dude, the girl who sat me down at table 15 was smoking. She's also 15.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel bad now. I'm gonna go take a shower. I don't need my
irony.
calamari after all.
yeah. So, it's funny because when I was 15, 16, my first job was at the Cheesecake Factory. Mm-hmm. Y'all ever heard of it? Yeah. Actually, in Durango, everybody's like, "No, what's that?"
Yeah.
We don't even have a KFC.
They don't. Yeah, they don't know about big businesses here. It's kind of beautiful.
This is why this is going to be great. I I got a job there, and I wanted to be a server because I heard they make good tips. And I never became a server there. And I worked there for about a year, and they said, you could work the bakery. And I said, what the fuck do they do? They're like, they make cheesecakes. And, I said, I don't know how to make the cheesecakes. And they said, no, you just have to design the plates. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't go to art school. And long story short, at the end of the day, all I did was take orders and put a piece of wannabe New York cheesecake on a nice looking plate that I made my coworker design.
Add some mint,
Yeah, and then about a year later, I was like, all right, moving to New York, I'm ready. I'm going to be an actor. This is going to be awesome. I got my very first job at this place called the Boat Basin Cafe on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. It's on 79th and Broadway, and I just lied right out the gate. They were like, I was like, oh, I'm here for a serving position. They said, oh, have you served before? And I was like, for 10 years. Yeah. And then they looked at my ID and they're like, you're born in 91? Well, you've been serving since you were 10? So they easily caught on and thought it was really funny. So on my first day, I was telling Jeff this story the other day. 2 things happened. And this was like, I almost retired from the service industry. I never wanted to go to a restaurant again. 2 things happened. I go to take an order, and it's very simple. You just, you got your pen and your paper, write down what they want, give it to the fucking kitchen, and do your fucking job. Mm-hmm. I didn't do any of that.
Oh, shit.
So...
Did you act like you did it?
Yeah, kind of. But I'll never forget it. The first guy says, I said, hey, guys, welcome. And they all said, what's up? And, I said, can I get you anything to drink? And the guy says, yeah, what do you have on tap? And I said, what? He said, what do you have on tap? And I said, oh, I'll have to go see if we have that. And he goes, what? And I was like, I just need to check if we have tap, whatever that is. And he goes, beer, man. What do you have?
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes, all right, what do you have on draft? What do we have for draft? And I was like, I don't know what that is. Yeah. And he's like, how'd you get a job here? And I almost cried. I was like an 18-year-old boy in New York City. And I was like, that's embarrassing. I'm not going to tell my manager about that. 3 hours later, every restaurant has table numbers, Mm-hmm. Table 85, table 90, table 1, table 6. A manager was going around telling all the servers something. And he walks up to me and he says, hey, AJ. I said, what's up, man? He said, 86 onion rings. And I said, you got it. And I go around through all the fucking tables, and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, and I'm trying to find table 86.
Oh shit!
And I couldn't find it. And we had tables like in the 90s. Yeah. And I swear to God, like I saw table 86, and I realized it was my friend Arturo's section. So I ran up to my manager and I said, hey, I don't have table 86. And he said, what? And I said, yeah, you said 86 onion rings. That's not my section. And he goes, Jesus fucking Christ, who hired you, kid? And I almost quit that night after both those things.
That's a rough day for sure.
We're considered to be almost considered to be fired too with that remark there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
It was
what
terrible.
Did we get ourselves into?
Oh man. But then I went on to work at, phenomenal restaurants.
Yeah.
Just faked it
till
I made
you
it.
make it. Yeah.
That's the
still trying.
Yeah, I'm thinking like culinary mistakes back in the past when I was a younger Jeff. One of the best ones was I was told to go mop out the dry storage or whatever. I was like, yeah, sure, I got this. And I did not know whether I should use bleach in the mop bucket or ammonia. And so I compromised with both of them.
Mustard, yes.
Yeah, and so, after an hour of like mopping out the dry storage, which would have only been like a 10-minute job, the owner of the place comes and finds me just mopping away, making shit shiny, He takes one look like, what's going on? I'm like, well, I put like this in the mop bucket and that in the mop bucket, and like I almost got it super shiny. I mean, I could wax this. He immediately realized I was high as fuck. It was like, okay, maybe why don't you go and take the rest of the day off, catch a nap.
Go catch a nap. Get out of this environment.
Catch a nap. Meanwhile, Jeff's 16.
Yeah. I actually I lied on my application on that one, which is kind of common for scum like us, I suppose. But yeah, I said I was 15 when I was actually 14 to get my job.
Wow.
And yeah, well, 26 years ago that was. Fuck.
Here we are.
My big early kitchen mistake. that stands out the most is so I kind of grew up pretty poor, so like I didn't know about a lot of the finer things in life, and even be that like just different varieties of fresh herbs and shit. I didn't even cook a lot, so when I first got my first cooking job, they pulled me up to the line and they're like, "You're gonna help us today. Go grab some basil." And I'm like, "Cool, got this." And I run back to the walk-in, way in the back, and they just had piles of unlabeled herbs. Like half of the walk-in was piles of unlabeled herbs. So I'm just sitting there like, basil, I can get basil, I can find basil, and I'm like, there's fucking 7 things here that could probably be basil. Like, I don't know enough about basil to know.
There's a bucket of apples, and you're like, that's not basil.
That's not basil. Yeah. So, but I brought him. So first, I brought him spinach. And he just looks at me and he's like, "I said basil, not spinach." And I just played it off like, "Oh yeah, totally thought you said spinach." And walk back to the fucking walk-in and put that back. And I'm like, "So it's not that one." I think
6 more to go.
Yeah. I think the next one I brought him back was sage. But in my defense, like, it was some pretty wide leaves for sage. But still, like, if I had brought that back to me now, I would have just laughed at me and slapped young me like, "You fucking come on, dude." But I brought it back, and he was an old school. I think that was the New York guy I worked with, old school New York guy, and he just fucking laughed when I brought him back the sage. Reached over and grabbed a piece of basil and handed it to me. He's like, "Put this in your fucking mouth. Go back there and don't come out until you find something that tastes like that taste." I'm just sitting there just chewing on it like, okay, that's fine. Oh yeah, no, that looks and tastes. Yeah, now that one's basil. Yeah.
Got it. Lesson learned.
He's like, now grab me the garlic. You show up with potatoes.
Yeah.
Tim, what about you?
I don't know, man. That's a hard one. I'm not the type of person that tries to remember things.
No, I mean, do you know what basil is yet? I'm just kidding.
I mean, the only one I can really think of is one of my first jobs. I worked as a dishwasher, and the chef I was working for, he was from Italy, and he was doing some kind of like fruit de mar or some kind of dish, and he had me peel shrimp, and he asked me if I knew how. Of course, I said I did. I had no fucking idea how to do it. And it took me 45 minutes to do 2 pounds of shrimp. Yeah, and they were off. They were not done very well. But hey, I did do them without somebody telling me I was doing it wrong.
You did it wrong a whole lot, for a long time.
Yeah, it just
he's still doing it wrong.
But I was a dishwasher, so it didn't really matter,
Yeah.
Actually, to this day, I know that Timmy could beat me in a shrimp peeling contest. And even though I lived in South Carolina where I peeled a lot of shrimp, Timmy's pretty fucking quick at it these days.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was always good at peeling shrimp because we used it as fish bait. And so, I would never really cook and eat shrimp, but, back on Maui and even sometimes in Texas, they would always use it as fish bait. And, Maui especially, that would be the kid's job. You'd show up and it'd be like, "Come on, come fishing. We're going to teach you how to fish." And they give you the smallest fishing pole. And they're like, "Okay, here's how you deshell the shrimp. Now deshell this whole box of shrimp." and then I'll show you how to put a shrimp on the hook. I just want you to get good at it.
I'm just so happy that you have more of a Hawaiian accent than you do a Texan
accent. It really comes through, brother.
Hang loose, brother.
Hang loose, brother.
God, that's kind of funny. Even the little conversation we had outside the liquor store on our way here. Nah, brah.
Yeah, nah, brah.
Nah, don't even.
Yeah. That was my uncle. He was the best because he was raised in the South, but then went to Hawaii.
Oh, geez.
I think in his 30s for a while, and so and that him and my dad and my uncles they all moved out there, but it was awesome because he picked up just enough of it mixed with the super Southern biker twang to just always produce funny shit. People would come over and you just get "Brah, what the fuck? Shut the fucking door, man! Come on, brah, what the fuck?
What the fuck, brah?" All right, I have a quick question for you three guys. first of all, I know, what are we on? Episode 18 here, 19?
I think sounds about right. 18.
I think so. I think 17 or 18.
All right. Happy to be here. How many servers, right, have y'all interviewed yet as far as like, front of house versus back of house?
We've had a couple on here.
A couple.
I don't want to repeat, things that have already...
We've had a couple that play both sides.
Okay.
And we've had a couple...
Sexually or at the kitchen?
I mean, maybe both. Yeah.
It's a kitchen. Who
Not my station. I don't know.
It's not my station.
Not my station.
It's not my section.
86 is not in my section.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
69 though.
So I'm sure you guys have talked about this, but I'm curious, and I've asked, folks in New York. Back of house is its own thing, right? Front of house is its own thing. And
like misfits versus actors, I guess.
Yeah. They got him the misfit, and y'all three are the actors here.
Yeah. My, how the tables have turned.
As three chefs, okay, do you hate it, or do you act like you hate it, or are y'all just assholes for the fuck of it, or is it you're so stressed out as is with your own line cooks that when a server comes up and makes a mistake, or let's say you're really hot-tempered, and I'm like, oh, I made a mistake on this ticket, blah, blah, blah. And, you guys snap at them. My question is this. Is us people in front of the house, right? We're scared shitless of every chef. I don't give a shit if you're the nicest.
You should be.
I don't give a shit if it's the nicest chef or the craziest chef. First of all, the nicest chef I've ever worked for is the biggest asshole in the world, okay? But 3 hours later, when we're getting fucked up together at some other bar, I'm like, hey, you're not so bad, And he's like, oh, you're still a fucking twat, you know what I mean? But my question is, do you guys, sorry, just burp there. Is it personal? Is it ever personal? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I want all three different answers from all three of you. Okay. Is it ever really personal, or are you guys just so fucking grouchy?
Well, I'll lead off by saying it can be personal because servers are not people. So I mean, and there's no way it can be personal.
You motherfucker! Wow, that's a good start.
It can be personal sometimes. If the same person fucks up every single night, then it becomes personal. But
okay.
Takes a lot, in my opinion, until it gets to be a personal thing.
What kind of chef do you think you are? Do you think you're benefit of the doubt and like, oh, it was an honest mistake? Do you like to intimidate servers to let them know that it's your fucking house? What's your go-to on that?
I mean, I don't know anymore because I haven't actually had a title in a while, but I used to be more of the kind of intimidation loud. I'm going to throw a pan at you if you fuck up.
Have you thrown a pan?
I have thrown a pan.
Have you thrown a pan at somebody?
I don't know if I've ever thrown a pan at somebody, but I've definitely had a server during like a brunch shift fuck up like 6 or 7 times, same server. This is back house. This is not the best of my times, but they said this was wrong because of this or that, and literally I just threw it on the ground. Just broke it.
And that's why you don't have a title right now.
Yeah.
He's like, and I haven't worked since.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I was always more
infuriating,
right?
Because I mean, this is like they fucked up this table like 10 times, and it's nothing to do with what the back of house did.
Right.
They forgot a substitution, or they did this or that,
which makes the establishment as a whole look terrible.
Absolutely.
Right. I understand.
And it was just the same thing, same table, a bunch of shit, and I just was at the end of everything. So I literally just smashed it and started over.
Yeah.
And it felt so good.
So good.
It happens.
I'm not super proud of that moment, but yeah, that was probably the most I've ever flying off the handle at a server.
All right, Dusty.
Me, I was always pretty good with the front of the house.
You've been pretty even keeled, like as long as I've known you.
Yeah, I'll keep a calm, level head and try to sort the shit out.
You've never lost it?
I've lost it on a couple people.
Give me a story here.
Well, I guess one example was, and it was actually back of the house people. Well, I guess I'll start with the front of the house example. I had a dude who would constantly try to poke the back of the house, and I was the chef at the place.
What do you mean
And
by
he,
what do you
he
mean
would
by,
try
what do you
to
mean by
poke my boys. He would anything he could get out of them. He
Try to
would
poke
for tables.
boys?
He would bring tables in, and basically,
What do you mean by poke though?
he would come up to the window and he would ring in shit that he knew he wasn't allowed to. And he was an older dude. He was smart enough to know like who's working and what he can try to get away with. And so he would try to milk stuff for the table, hoping to get a bigger tip. And it's I understand that in some steaks, like if it's a good table and you're trying to get a bigger tip. But when you get a night where it's like, I catch you doing that for 60% of your tables, and I'm managing food cost, and I'm catching you like coming back and just prodding my boys. No, give me a side of demi. I need like a soup cup of demi glaze. Give it to me right now. I need it for this table out there. And taking it out to them, and just as a gesture, they didn't even want it. Just like, you've got to try our demi glaze, and I'm sitting there watching like, you just hassled my dude, and now my dude's in a bad spot because he just got hassled. And you just gave that table $9 worth of something they would have been happy with a ramekin of,
In Manhattan, it's $29 instead of $9.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Okay.
Well, this was a little while ago, but and also the thing is, whenever I catch him, and I would catch him, and I've caught a couple other people doing it, but especially when they're fucking with the back. And you catch people lying when they make a mistake and saying, like, well, they messed it up in the back. The boys in the kitchen. We got a new guy back there, and he has no clue what's going on. And especially when it's an open kitchen. And they're looking right at the cook who's been there for years, and he's looking right back at them, listening. Like,
fucking pendejo.
What? Yeah, I was here when you were hired, motherfucker.
Like, te gusta la verga. You're like, what does that mean?
I don't understand.
I don't understand. It's funny that you mentioned that. It's nice to see it from y'all's point of view, because I've been there. I've been that, I'm the very friendly, outgoing, like, oh, is AJ working tonight? Where families have been back, which is why I don't get fired, because I get all these Yelp reviews, and I get, because I should be fired for everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I've never had a serving job where I wasn't fucking hammered for the most part. You know what I mean? But I'm thank God I'm not serving anymore, so I can say that.
This might be the reason.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, David,
This might be there again. We're figuring things out.
I'm not serving as much because I've been okay with acting in other things, but that's one of those things where it's, and I'll speak on behalf of every server in America. We think we can take new cooks, right? We can take them for granted. And I've done it on several occasions without the chef kind of knowing, Chef's always got eyes behind his head. You think they never know, but you're like, oh, the chef's not as dumb as I thought. And, the chef will fucking break your ass, 99% of the time, the chef will fuck you up. Like, the chef can fuck you up and will fuck you up, which is why we're all afraid of you guys.
Yeah.
You guys have something we don't. It's like y'all were just like had strict parents or strict, going into culinary school, it was like nobody's fucking around. We, all we know is the asshole next to us that served us. So here's how you're supposed to do it, but here's how I do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, motherfucker, like I'm trying to get 4.0, not 2.0. I'm not trying to just scrape by. But every time there'd be like a new, because we, it's a restaurant. We see everything. And every time I'd be a server and I'd see like a new cook, and it was like his first day or his first week, I'd walk up and be like, Jesus, I'm not saying his name was Jesus, but I'd be like, Jesus, I need another duck fried rice, or I need
Skylar.
Yeah. Said no one. Yeah. Hey, Barrett, can I get no?
Yeah, Barrett, welcome to the kitchen, man.
No, yeah. So I'd be like, Jesus. I'd be like, hey man, can I get, another, fucking, I don't know, any food item, duck fried rice, or hey, can I get, another Caesar with this and whatnot? And he would always be like, okay. And he would just make it for me and give it to me. And once I realized, oh shit, like, I used to work at this tapas restaurant in Brooklyn. It's called Sugarcane, and it's phenomenal. I'm talking some of the best food I've ever had. They have a spot in Miami. They have a spot in Vegas on the Strip. I used to talk to these tables, and I'd be like, "Oh, you got to try this. This is really good, and let me get you.
Okay, and just being personable.
Yeah, and I'm being personable, but what I'm not realizing is what Dusty said. that's all fair and fine. I mean, I'm sure you guys as chefs, friends, family come in, you're like, oh, take this to table 16, take this to table 20. But I would do that, like Dusty was saying, I would do that like 60% of the time, or I do that 50% of the time. And it does nothing for the kitchen really, and it does everything for me. So my tips would go from 20% to 35% all the time. And here's the thing, us servers, we truly don't give a fuck about, food costs for y'all. We don't give a fuck about, what your name represents for the restaurant. We're just here.
It's not your station.
Exactly.
Not my station.
We're just here to smile, kiss some ass, and try to make sure people have a good time. But like you were saying earlier, you see people doing it 60% of the time. Now, if that's one server out of 7 on the floor and they're all doing it, your numbers aren't going to add up, and that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. I still got a lot of money over here from the side.
Exactly.
Still spending money from 2010 over here.
Lose their jobs over it,
But
I've been one of them.
I always tried to do basically like a rewards and punishment system with my
Good
front
cop,
of the
bad
house
cop.
people. Like specials, I would always reserve the last special. Like, say I made a fucking, like a dank ass, like fucking steak special. Right. And then we go into the night with 12. It's like, you guys have 12 to sell. There are 13 in existence. That last one is reserved for whoever sells the fucking most. And you get the tits out special.
10 other servers ordered after you 86 it though, right?
That's a pretty common thing.
Meanwhile, he has like the best pasta special, and the winner's like, I'm gluten free.
Yeah. And I'd give him stuff to taste. But a good example is like the guy who, who was poking the kitchen. Like, I caught him doing that one night, and I told my dude who was working to keep track, because he had come to me and complained about it. He's like, every time you turn around, fucking Pinche Kevin's in the window fucking asking for some shit.
Oh my God, I love that that's his name. No, but you did it in your Texan accent. You're like, every time Pinche Kevin. I'm like, what kind of cooks you got going on there?
But yeah, and so one night we just kept track of it. And at the end of the night, he went to order his meal. And it was like, okay, so if you want your meal, you got to pay what you owe the house, basically.
Right.
Like, this is the stuff you took. And it was already, it was funny because, like, I think they got, like, a appetizer for free or an entree at half price. And he was going for the half price entree. So it was like he went to ring it in, and I just brought him up like the tally. It was like, tally this in, and it was fucking like twice the price of his entree. I'm like, you can put your 30% off employee discount on that, but like, you're still paying back that like $37 at the end of the night. Like, what? You can't make me do that. I'm like, well, you made homeboy give you out all that demi, because it was always the fancy shit too, and for silly shit sometimes he would try to pull over. Like, let me take 2 sides of demi for free to this table because I want to show them how good it tastes with their $2.50 fucking happy hour fries. Like their fry cost doesn't even cover the fucking demi you're taking.
Yeah. Take them some goddamn truffle remoulade as well.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever.
Exactly.
Jeff, what about you? What is when have you lost your shit? If you could think of one time where it was like, oh, like Tim was saying, it was just like, it wasn't my finest moment, right? I feel that way every morning I wake up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say, what, one time? I mean, that's kind of
like
pretty on the red.
I feel that way about life, but I'm talking about in the kitchen as a chef. When I'm not asking if, like, when were you in the wrong? I just mean, when have you lost your shit when you weren't present?
Oh, that's fine. You can go and ask that. I mean, I live a daily basis of guilt, shame, and regret, about a lot of things I've done. So
our next, I'm going to create a podcast, and it's going to be called Guilt, Shame, and Regret.
Guilt, shame, and regret.
And it's just going to be a bunch of fucking hooligans. And I'm like, hey, so what'd you do last night? Bro, I was ripping blow till 5 a.m. I had to work at 4. Wait, what? You didn't blow after the fact? Yeah.
Oh, shit, man. Like, let me think back. Like,
I got a good one if you're having trouble.
Oh, no.
Again? It was just your turn.
No, I mean, I got a good one with this guy. We've worked together.
Oh, you have a story for him.
Yeah, we'll give you a backseat for a second here.
You go ahead. You take your pick.
Okay, so like you're asking like if things ever get like personable between like front of the house, back of the house, or whatever.
Well, that too, and also when you've lost your shit,
I could combine both those in one,
as the chef usually would.
Yeah. So basically, I was a much younger Jeff. I maybe was 16, 17 years old, something like that. And there was a server that was working with me, and she got tied up in some fucking legal business with one of my homies' like younger brothers. And she was completely in the wrong. I will say that, like, to this very day, like, she was completely in the wrong. She just came from a rich family. We're fucking poor little cunts, So, I mean, she, like, targeted him legally or whatever. And she'd been working there for a couple months before all this happened. And I was just so disgusted, like, by the whole fucking ordeal, I have to look at her face, like, fucking 5 shifts out of the week or whatever. And I'm outside, like, just mad about something, like, whatever, smoking a cigarette at 16, whatever, And she comes out to, like, say something like, hey, we definitely need some more to go. And I just fucking flicked my cigarette and nailed her right in the forehead.
No fucking way.
Yeah, dude.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
I'm done with this podcast. I'm out of here, you fucking pricks. Oh my God. I'm like, what? Like, where is she? Oh, she's dead now.
She's dead now. I put her in a hole.
I'm glad she wasn't wearing more like hairspray or whatever.
Oh my God. And how old were you?
16.
You weren't even a chef. You were a cook?
Yeah.
And you flicked a cigarette.
It was actually a really good arc too. Like I gauged the wind distance, like a seriously.
Oh my God. You're like impressed with yourself. You flicked it and you were like, God damn.
Dude, if you'd have saw it, you'd have been impressed too.
I would not have been depressed. Not. No, I said depressed. I would have been depressed. Dude, that's gnarly.
Yeah, there's like a one instance.
Oh my God. What happened?
She clocked off, went home, didn't come back.
Was never seen again.
Oh my God. Like I said, yeah, right. Like I said, she dead. Oh my God. That's all right. See, that's
not something I'm proud about, but the arc is a perfect cigarette flick, though.
Right.
I mean,
you're proud about the flick. You're not proud of the woman.
The action.
That is fucking gnarly. I mean, you're scum for it, but also, I don't know. Like, that's insane.
Well, I mean, like, whatever, dude. Like, this is like.
Meanwhile, Tim dropped a pan and he's like, "Oh my God, I wouldn't have done that. If I could go back in time, I just dropped the pan." And then Dusty over here is like, "Man, I couldn't find the."
I charged him for the food he took diligently with a 30% discount.
So Tim's like, yeah, I dropped the pan. I was so mad. I'm not proud of it. Dusty's over here just like, I made him pay for 30% of that. And I'm over here like, what about you, Quiet Jeff? And he's like, I fucking hit that bitch so hard in the fucking forehead with that cigarette. What?
She's still scarred to this day. They call her One-Eyed Betty, I believe.
My God.
Took out the whole eye.
Oh, my God.
Well, there's one that, I'm not proud about the action, but, that's when I was much younger.
You were also like 14, 15. 16.
15, 16.
33.
But, in my defense, though, at that same
last
job.
week.
Tuesday. Damn, Jeff, when did that happen? Oh, it was a long time ago on Tuesday.
Yeah. It was a long time ago, like 2 p.m.
Exactly. That was a long, long time ago. What do you mean? What time is it? Oh, my God.
It's like, I've been clean for 2 hours now, okay?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right. Great stories across the board.
Yeah, goddamn. Fuck.
I
keep on going.
Stop there.
Yeah, don't incriminate yourself any further.
He's like, I shot
Let
Jesus
me do
one time.
that. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Let me ask you guys this. Because I'm as curious, to life behind chef life. I'm sure there already has been times on several occasions, but the front of the house manager, right, or the GM, right, because it's your fucking kitchen, but a GM feels like it's their fucking restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you this right now. In New York, I've seen the greatest chefs and the GMs go to fucking war.
Oh, yeah.
And so I want three of you guys to tell me a quick story. You don't have to say names or say the fucking names. About like, and not like a good relationship here. Let's talk about a bad one, because a good relationship is like, oh yeah, we were a successful restaurant.
Yeah.
I want to hear about like situation, like and why that person would drive you up the fucking roof of like a relationship that y'all had with either an owner or a GM and why it wasn't working out. Okay, let's go owner as well. So take your pick, boys.
I've got a
Dusty,
double trouble. Alcoholic lady owner. Middle age, like probably like 50, early 50s. Alcoholic lady, but she was insane. She was taking money, but in addition to that, she would sit at the bar and get drunk, and then at a certain point when she was drunk enough, she'd turn it into like the girls' club bar, but at the same time, we're serving like fucking, $30 to $50 fucking entrees. Right. Like, we've got high table value, and people are coming in their nice suits and fucking all dressed up, and she's down there fucking just volume all the way up on the radio, just dancing fucking George Michael. I want your sex.
I'm never gonna dance again.
Yeah.
Is this the owner or GM?
The owner. And the GM, which she hired, instantly kind of got buddy with her, but she had a thing where like she definitely had a thing where she thought it was basically the kitchen was my bedroom in her house.
Oh God.
Yeah, and
All
so
right.
we couldn't work together on a lot of, and then she would do stuff like we even harassed her. A couple of the guys in the kitchen started jokingly calling her mom because of the fact that she would do stuff randomly. She'd like come through and do like a random checkout at the end of the night. And when working with her, it got to the point where, and she was so tight with the owner, where any complaint she had, she would take to the owner and I would hear about, and I was the chef. So It got to the point where I had to be there when the doors opened, not for service, when the first person walked in the doors, and be there until the last person left every night that we were open to avoid criticism from the owner through something she said. And it was stupid stuff, too, because she didn't know anything about the kitchen. So she'd walk back, and the owner or the GM.
They never do.
And the GM would walk back at the end of the night after we left. So if we left before her, or I left before anyone else left, if I was there until the end, she would lay off a lot of times. But if, say, I left early, and that's like, saying I leave at 11, we close at 11.
Right.
Like, I let my boys close it down, I go home for the night. She's for sure going to wait until all of them leave and then walk through the kitchen and try to find things that she thinks we forgot.
What, is she the fucking health department?
Yeah. And it's not even the real stuff, though, because she has no clue about the kitchens. Like, I kept getting
But she won't listen. She won't listen to you, even if you talk to her, and she goes, "Well, this wasn't wiped down right." You're like, "That doesn't need to be wiped down right," and she'll just try to come up with little things to give you shit.
Oh yeah,
right.
I had to pull her back and explain to her gravity and logic one day, and it was the silliest conversation because she was trying to get tough about me forgetting a ninth pan, leaving a dirty ninth pan in the kitchen at the end of every night. And I was like, no one's leaving a dirty ninth pan out.
Right.
I would know. I leave and there's no dirty ninth pan sitting out.
Right.
And I come in every morning and my steam well is full of hood grease. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I see what's up.
And yeah, so every night she would go check through. Every night she'd come through and pull the hood vent ninth pan.
Wow.
And say that it was the dirty ninth pan, and then get on the owner about it. Like, you can't even trust these guys. And anytime I beat him in the morning, there's a puddle of grease just back in the kitchen. And I had to explain to her, like, see, the hoods suck stuff up. and then you
Right.
turn them off, and gravity pulls the grease
Right.
back. She's like, oh my God, that makes sense. Like, it should fucking make sense.
Jesus Christ.
You would think when you pulled that thing off and it looked like a fucking Texas oil explosion.
They don't know. They don't know. Servers don't know. You know, none of us know. We're just trying to get fucking paid so we can get blacked out after every single shift. Take a line or two. Well, yeah, same with you. Same with you guys. We just go to different bars because we don't. We
don't want to smell us anymore,
right? No, yeah, right. And then all of a sudden you see your chef, and all the servers are like, "Run,
run!" He's drawing us in with his sadness.
Right, Tim, what about you?
What about? See, I don't know if I can actually talk about it though, because when I left, they made me sign a non-disclosure. So I don't know if they have like a time limit.
All right, well, talk about a time you were 13 working at McDonald's and you hated your boss. It's the same shit.
You're not saying names or anything.
Also,
unless you're giving away companies.
Jeff thought I was asking him something totally different. He's like, "Oh, hold on." I was like whispering to him, and I was like, "It's Tim, right?" Like, oh shit! I was like, "Wait, I told." I was like, "Hey, I totally forgot. His name is Tim, right?" And all of a sudden, he's about to hop off, thinking I was like, "Can I have a cigarette in here?" So, all right, because you signed it, and what is it? And I was
NDA.
It's so funny. Whatever. I'm always like NDA or NWA.
NWA.
Yeah, I have to sign an NWA.
I have to sign an NWA for this.
If you don't want to talk about it, Tim, you don't have to talk about it. But I guess I just wanted a story of like you and a boss, or like you and, let's say, a restaurant you fucking used to work for that you hated, unless you signed NDAs for all of them.
Where did they touch you is the question I'm asking. If they made you sign an NDA, someone touched you somewhere.
In my no-no spot. Well, the cool thing about that place, when I left, though, I got an extra, like, a bonus or leaving a thing of $2,000 because I had too much dirt on these people. But it wasn't, I mean, in hindsight.
Okay.
So
yes,
I know where they touched you. I know where they touched you.
They tickled your taint, didn't they? They are some taint tickling.
Do we need to bring out a puppet for this?
Yeah. I know where they taint tickled you.
Yeah.
All right. So they gave you $2,000, and now you shut up.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't wish them bad. They weren't the worst people in the world. But
so it was a clean touch. You liked it, didn't you? You wily son of a bitch.
Sick motherfucker.
Absolutely.
It wasn't when they finger tickled it, but someone tickled it with their mustache, and that was a game changer.
But he owes the $2,000 back because it was the 15-year-old girl at the host section that he.
Oh, jeez.
Take it back. That's why. No, he made her sign it.
No, she taint tickled him, and that adds more questions.
Right,
He's still saving the $2,000.
How did she have a mustache?
All right, Jeff.
Oh, man. First, I'd like to say that every single bad owner has been a great influence on my life. I've seen a few of them, and one way or the other, I'm happy with where I'm at today. So thank you, all you fucking cocksucking pieces of shit that got me here.
Oh, kill him with kindness. Kill him with kindness.
Or axes.
Yeah, I don't know.
X's.
Axes.
Oh, I was going to say, whoa. You want to hear about some X's?
I was actually thinking about buying a new Tournay knife for this whole reason alone.
God. You see how excited my eyes just like lit up? He said axes, and I said X's. X's. Okay, so there was Veronica, Alexis, Karen, Lauren.
Jesus.
Robert.
You got like a whole rap song worth.
Yeah. Alexis, Lauren, Robert, Jubobert, Karen.
I want to know more about Jubobert.
It was Jor Bobbert.
It was a hermaphrodite.
So we used to call it Jababi for short.
Jababi. Yeah.
Hey, Jababi. Yeah, he was cool, man. I was going through some lonely times in my life.
Jeez.
You know what's funny? Out of all those fake names I just said, I think I accidentally said 2 real names.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
I hope to God one of them was Jubobert.
Yeah. Out of all those names, man, I accidentally said one that was real.
Oh, I can't believe I said
fucking
Jubobert's name online.
Now I'm gonna have a kid someday, guy or girl.
Jubobert. Yeah.
Not Joe Bobbert. Not Joe's, but mine.
Oh, so good.
Well, yeah, I think we're going to take a quick little break.
Cigarette break.
A little cigarette break.
I like cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. Possibly an ad break if I get my shit together. So if you hear an ad...
this is Facebook coming at you live.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a great friend that literally for a living, and I could say his name here, but seriously, he started this company that puts ads for anybody's business, and it's awesome. Like he all the ads you see on your phone and that little Facebook thing or like Instagram thing, he does those. He's the guy that says, I give this the green light to put this ad during this section. So what we should really talk about now is my friend Mitch, and then be like, hey Mitch, you owe me.
Hey, throw some guys a bone.
Throw some guys a bone.
Yeah.
OPP.
Yeah, I let the computer service
3-minute
do it.
YouTube video have a break right in the middle, right? Right as somebody's about to finish a sentence. Oh, time for that break.
Right. I mean, that's what you guys want, right? I mean, like that. I've noticed like every time I see a friend do like stand up or a friend's podcast, and then there's a 5-second commercial in between. I'm like, that doesn't just happen.
Oh no, you put that in. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't put in the Hyundai commercial.
There's a wizard behind a curtain somewhere.
No, I call
that's Mitch. Mitch is the wizard.
Yeah.
My friend Mitch is the wizard.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
All right.
But yeah, it's weird. I use a service that adds the ads, but
Run by Mitch.
it's probably run by Mitch.
Probably run by Mitch.
Probably getting that. Mitch is probably
Honest
getting
to
his money
God.
off of this.
Honest to God, Mitch is the guy who like pays for the ads. This be a small world.
Yeah.
Shit, it sure
All
is.
right, cigarette break.
Well, cigarette break.
For sure. All right, folks, we'll catch up with you in a
We'll
couple
come back.
minutes.
Enjoy this Wu-Tang commercial.
Yeah, go smoke your own cigarettes.
Yeah, right.
Hi, kids. Do you like the Wu-Tang Clan? Well, they're nothing to fuck with, so...
Jesus.
Podcast is now called Wu-Tang Waffles.
Wu-Tang Waffles. Waffles with the Wu-Tang.
Hello.
All right, Timmy, we'll catch up with you here pretty soon, all right?
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing like recording while we're eating these...
We're back with a mouthful of wieners and more to talk about.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Yeah.
Sorry, that was a big wiener.
That was a big one. Yeah, we got a gagger.
Looks like he's swallowing.
I'm swallowing.
Only one in 4 of us that doesn't have a wiener in their mouth, huh?
Well, fag.
Yeah. Whoa now, girl.
I don't know if I should be lucky or, jealous. I'm not sure.
Jealous for sure.
You didn't get your rib removed when you got your leg fixed?
Well, wait, what was that?
He said you didn't get your rib removed while you got your leg fixed? I can suck my own dick now, but I can't walk. Well, fuck. Beggars can't be choosy.
Yeah, turns out I don't need to walk anymore. I'm right where I need to be.
I gave up my leg so I could suck my own dick.
There I was, thought it was going to be like an Adam and Eve joke or something.
Oh, man.
Just Adam by himself. Don't worry, Eve. Don't bother me when I'm in the fucking tree of knowledge.
Don't worry, God, either. I got it from here.
I got it, God. Yeah.
It's mine. I can clean it as much as I want to.
That's why he broke the Garden of Eden, because it was fucking dirty at that point.
Oh, shit.
Eve is just pissed off on one side. There's just Adam spunk all over this place. I'm gonna give him one more rib, and I'm gonna kick the fucker out of this place.
The real story goes like Eve had nothing to do with it.
Don't put
Fuck
the
your
fruit of
apple.
knowledge in your mouth. That was his own dick.
Adam, you have one rule. Don't suck your own dick. Yeah. Sucks his dick once. Oh, you fucked it up for all of us. Now nobody can suck their own dick.
Fucker.
Fucker. Yeah.
Fucker.
It makes sense. The serpent and the apples, Oddly, though, the serpent came to him and he put the apples in his mouth first. Not the move I would go for.
We are not trained to hate Adam. The whole world is trained to hate Eve. She's some sort of slut. Like, bitch, you had one job.
Yeah. And that's probably the real story, too. That's how she got blamed, because Adam's like, hey, yo, let's fuck. And she's like, why don't you go suck your own dick? And he's like... I can do that?
Yeah.
We got
Let me fucking...
I had, yo,
See,
I,
my
give me a
doctor did
minute.
all the
Yeah.
yo, I never thought of that.
I never thought
Oh
of
wait,
it
time
that
out
way.
because Adam's from Brooklyn now. Yo, B, I never thought of that before. Yo, I'm gonna suck my own dick, B. Yo, I'm mad tight. I'm mad horny right now. I'm sorry. I don't think Adam and Eve came from Brooklyn. All of a sudden, Eve's like from New Jersey. Oh my God, you must have won snowballs. Jesus. God told you not to throw any snowballs. When the fuck did Eve come from fucking Jersey?
Jersey.
Can you
making a lot of
imagine?
sense.
We should rewrite the Bible and call it, Brooklyn Adam and Jersey Eve.
That'd be great.
Oh my God.
Just make all the different characters in the Bible from different places that you're making fun of. And that's when Canadian Moses spoke on
Oh
to
my
everyone.
God.
Hey, everybody.
Oh my God.
Hey there, buddy. I'm just trying to get some animals on this ark here, pal.
Don't you know?
Don't you know I got this big old boat I built out back, I got 2 mooses on there. I got 2 ferrets. I got 2 oxen.
No problem. John the Baptist is all gay. Like, hey, I made it.
Who wants to get in the water with me?
Exactly. I'm trying to drown somebody.
Come play.
Oh my
We're playing a little splash
pitch
game
this
for
to,
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Pitch it to like a Matt Stone, Trey Parker is what you're saying? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, we should pitch it to them because this could be a great episode for them.
He's so good.
Actually, let's go for like the Broadway hit.
Oh my God.
Fuck your Book of Mormon.
Judas ends up being like a fucking drug dealer from the Bronx. Just like, yo, I got this new spice, eh? What's up, son?
Give me 30 pieces.
Yeah. Dude, you fucked it up for everybody.
Jesus is as American as fuck. How y'all doing there? I'm the son of God. Just coming over here. Sometimes you got to bear your own cross. That's what they say.
He's like Trump 2024 BC.
There's 2 things I love in my life. NASCAR and my Father, the Lord and Savior. And I did list them in the order that I like them.
Oh my God.
And God bless Chuck Norris.
Oh. Mary's not a virgin at all. She's a fucking town whore. $20. Oh my God.
Shh, don't tell Joseph.
Oh, jeez.
Joseph's into it. He's the total cuck type. You want to come over and
totally.
bang Mary one more time? We're looking for some immaculate conception.
You find out Jesus was born from a gangbang. This is so bad because I believe in God. I'm not kidding. Ma, if you're listening to this, it's all acting. Meanwhile, my mom's like, you came from a gangbang too? Jeez. What the fuck did she just say?
Gangs in New York.
It's called immaculate conception from where I come from.
Oh my God. We should.
How was that gangbang party? Fucking immaculate, bro.
You see them strobe lights? Wait, what year is it? Oh my God. We should make. I'm going to make a short film about everything we just talked about, but it's going to take place in the kitchen. You're going to have Jesus. You're going to have Mary and Joseph and John the Baptist. And,
family-run
All
establishment.
right, well, let's talk about that real quick. If Mary worked in a restaurant in 2020, where and who would she be?
She'd be done in the walk-in.
Okay, so Mary would get fucked in about 52 degrees, okay, in the walk-in.
I think she would be GM.
Mary would totally be GM.
God would be the owner.
Okay, God be the owner.
Yeah. Joseph, he's just like a floor manager on Tuesdays.
Yeah, right.
He has no authority whatsoever.
No.
He's like, I'm in here. I'm the boss, but only on Tuesdays.
Joseph's like a busboy that they just promoted to like an assistant manager. All right. And John the Baptist is by far the bartender that's like, I've got all the answers to your problems.
Jesus is the chef because he is the original chef.
I was thinking Jesus would be more like the dishwasher.
Think about this, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus would be the dishwasher. Jesus for sure would be like, hey, America, give me them dishes.
This is where I get the chef from. Is he was the original chef. Yeah. He threw a party. and he's looked at his homies, and he's like, I got fucking 1 bottle of wine, I got like 2 fish, couple loaves of bread, like, it'll be fine. Only like 20 people are coming.
Y'all trying to
and
get
then,
crunk?
Like, 2,000 people show up, and he's like, hold on. Give me some water. I'm about to make rosé. You still got that mozzarella? We're doing salmon bruschetta bites. Bruschetta bites and rosé for everybody.
Oh, my God. And then Mary's just like, oh, my God, you brought bruschetta?
All right, so you got fed 1,000 people. 2
my
fish and a couple
God.
loaves of bread.
Moses shows up. He's like, sorry, I'm late.
Where did you find those 2 fish?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God. Jesus is like, has all these fishes, and he's just like, how could you afford that? Trump 2024.
2024.
BC. Oh, man. I love how we just got on that.
Yeah, we got on a whole track there.
And we brought it to food. We brought it to the kitchen.
We brought it back to the kitchen.
Yeah, everybody. Hey, this is Howley Boys. We're back for our second episode.
Yeah, we're back for the second half.
Hi, this is Jesus speaking. Who wants some goddamn fish?
Fish. Yeah, I got fish, and I got bread,
Yeah.
and I got rosé.
Yeah. Jersey Mary. Do y'all know who his father is?
I sure as shit don't.
Oh, my God. Joseph's like, what do you mean?
What do you mean, Mary?
Oh, man.
Go sweep the dry storage, Joseph.
Welcome back, y'all. Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn in the house.
We haven't addressed this yet, but I'm a Yankees fan.
Oh,
Fuck
motherfucker.
you.
Fuck you! And Jeff here, and apparently the way Tim just responded to that. Guys from Jersey, they don't have fucking baseball.
No, Red Sox fan. Come on, fuck you.
How are you guys Red Sox fans? Let's discuss this real quick.
All right, I'll hit you up with one, all right?
All right, next, Tim.
Fucking Yankee fans.
No, I'm kidding. Jeff, go.
All right, so...
Hey, are you going to take that last wiener?
Yes, he is. Of course. Come on. Just done a wiener.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Jeff, go.
All right, so bringing it back, I did like a lot of growing up in Oregon, you know? Part of that was in Portland, part of it was in Pendleton, yar. But Portland, when it was established, they flipped a coin between being named after Portland, Maine, or being named after Boston, Massachusetts. And growing up on like the West Coast or whatever, after Griffey Jr. left the Mariners, I had no use for the Mariners. I was always a Bash Brothers fan, you know, like with Oakland. But I always had mad respect for the Red Sox because I'd go up and catch like games like in the old like a Kingdom, you know.
Right.
And either it was like the Mariners versus the Red Sox or the Mariners versus Oakland. Like those were the only games I went up there to go watch, you know.
Sure.
And after I kind of lost favor with both Oakland and Seattle, I was like, well, fucking Portland, you know, like it flipped a coin between being named like Boston West, basically, you know. And that was when I was clever enough to figure that out when I was 14 years old or something like that, you know. And
Right before you threw the cigarette.
and maybe 12 months before that.
I think they correlated together, possibly. He was sitting there smoking, and that thought went through his head, too. Like, I shouldn't hit her with a cigarette.
Right.
Now we're pretty much in Boston West. Fuck you.
That's what you give her walking down the street.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I was wicked tired.
No, because they were, you know, he's an Irish dude, and, you know, there was some whatever else, because I haven't seen anybody in Boston.
I don't know, like, there's a time and point where Portland, Oregon was awesome. It was a blue-collar, like, town, like a bunch of, like, lumberjacks, you know, that lived by a river, you know, and so it's definitely a working-class city back in the day. Then came the hippies, then came the anarchists, then came, like, whatever it is now, you know?
What is it
Yeah.
now?
I don't know.
Jersey.
Jersey? Jersey.
Yeah, then it went
Jersey
to
West.
shit. Oh, it turned into Jersey, huh? Tim, you're not from Jersey. Your mother's from Jersey.
No, I'm from Tucson, Arizona. My grandfather did tell me as a child that every time you flushed the toilet, it ended up in Jersey.
That's a fact.
Finding
That's
Nemo.
actually a true fact.
Finding Nemo. ... In Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm sure Dusty could relate the science of gravity about that one.
Yeah, now all the shit flows down to Jersey.
Everything flows down to Jersey.
Well, I can see where our cast won't be spiking at these days.
They'll tune in just for Timmy. That's my hope.
Timmy, do you have a beer in front of you?
No, I'm actually not supposed to be drinking or anything right now because I've, just what is it now? 7-8 days post surgery.
Take a shot.
Like
So
morphine?
yeah, I wish. But yeah, no, I actually even stopped taking my pain medicine, so I'm not actually on anything.
Oh, you're just
How many pills do you have left?
Yeah.
Completely sober.
How many pills do you have left?
Not a whole lot, unfortunately.
What are they, like Vicodin, Percocets?
They're
Oxys?
just shitty. They're
Oxys?
just shitty Vicodin. Or not even Vicodin. It's
Tylenol PM.
Well, that's all the time we have, folks. I got to go. Gotta go get some Jersey Vicodin.
They're shitty.
Right.
But, they help me get through, so.
Didn't you even try to tell me you have a very low pain tolerance, so you get better shit? Or no, actually, you're covered in tattoos, so that probably wouldn't fly.
I didn't want to tell them, because anytime I go into an ER for anything, they won't prescribe me pain medication because I look like the type of person that would be going
the neck
just
tattoos.
They're like, hell no, you look like a goddamn chef.
Yeah.
No kidding. Oh, look at all those tattoos. Has a fantastic balsamic reduction or drizzle here.
What is the whole deal with chefs and tattoos?
Well,
You gotta look scary.
No,
Keep the front of the house people afraid.
Well, then in that case, I'm going to go get tattooed like Lil Wayne, and that chef ain't going to say shit to me.
No, don't do that. Nobody should do that.
Yeah, they put you in the kitchen.
I shouldn't do
would
that
be
for
the trick.
$50,000 a year?
selling yourself short. 50?
I know. That's what I'm saying. No, I don't make that. I'm just saying some servers only make that or do make that. But can you imagine if some guy's like, you know what? That chef ain't got shit on me, and he just gets tattooed head to toe so he can Jesus, hey, Jesus, give me the salad. Chef's like, oh, he's tatted? No problem.
No problem. Let him have it. Yeah. He'll
He's
be back
done
here
time.
with us soon enough.
Fuck, I owe $14,000 in taxes.
Well, that's the trick is one of the front of the house managers would eventually catch the guy with face tattoos and be like, go ahead and run this plate back to the kitchen and don't come out.
Come out.
Mary shows up. Oh my God, are you serious? Throughout the rest of this podcast, we're talking about kitchen shit. I'm just gonna keep bringing up John the Baptist, Jesus, and Jersey Mary is the funniest thing to me. Oh my God, you were throwing snowballs? It's just the way she says snowballs. Snowballs? You were throwing snowballs?
Jesus. Well, fuck, that
Mary
was
Ann?
unintentional. That was unintentional.
Yeah, he's like, Jesus, pun intended, guys, pun intended.
I was thinking of Paul the Apostle being the host. It's supposed to be a hostess, but he's actually the host.
Yeah, yeah.
Stuck there, old, gray, withered. Used to be a chef probably somewhere.
Oh my God, nailed it.
I was a sommelier once.
Peter doesn't even work. Peter doesn't even work there. He's a fucking liar. Peter's like the dude that just gets stoned. That's like, yo, if I show up in all black, you think I can get away with the serving?
I'll just pretend. I'll work the outside tables till they kick me out.
Jesus is like, you've denied me 3 times. Oh, last wiener.
The
Last
wiener.
dogs on the plate.
This wiener's for you, Timmy.
Folks that are
All
listening,
right.
we are eating pigs in a goddamn blanket.
In a blanket.
Pigs at
Some
So
of
as
the warmest
being a
pigs.
Yankees fan, do you want to know why I'm a Red Sox fan? It's really not a very fun story, but I'll tell you anyway.
I want to hear all about it.
All right, so a couple of years ago, when did the Sox win their last series again?
18, I think. Yeah.
2024 BC.
I think it was
Fuck
2018. When was the last time the Yankees won one?
Hello, easy girl. Whoa now, whoa baby, you're home now. Easy girl.
But,
Whoa now, you're staying here, baby girl.
But I'll just go with 2018 because I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of baseball, and Jeff is a huge fan of baseball. I was cooking with Jeff, and I decided that 2018 was the year for me to become a baseball fan. And since I didn't have an allegiance to a team, my compadre over there was a Red Sox fan, so I went, into the head first into the deep end.
That is the worst fucking story I've ever heard of how to become a fucking Red Sox fan.
Well, obviously, your personality doesn't influence your fans.
Correct.
It's contagious. Yeah.
That's how they won the series, because I became a fan.
I don't think they won the series in 2018. That's a year and a half ago.
2017.
So it could have been 17. Yeah, one of the twos. I mean,
Yeah.
I watch it as it goes. I'm not a statistician, so I don't
You're not?
Not about that,
know. Correct.
2018 feels like 7 years ago.
Look where the Dodgers are.
Fuck
You know
the
what I mean?
Dodgers.
I feel you on that. But
I'm
look,
not-
we
yeah.
traded for the Mets. They're in contention right now.
Yeah,
I get
Jeffro, you
that.
hear that? Fuck the Dodgers, Jeffro.
Do you want to know how I became a Yankee fan, even though I've only been living in Brooklyn for like 10, 11 years? I'm from San Francisco. And this was wild. When I was 11 years old, I was just on all these like AA, AAA, whatever you call them, like Little League Baseball. And every day I took a bus to school with my best friend. His name was Justin Larson. And one day, like, we're talking baseball, and he's like, I'm a Yankee fan. And I was like, who the fuck is a Yankees fan? I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. I was like, I know the Yankees because of Babe Ruth, right? And that's how I talked when I was 11. I know the fucking Yankees. I'm from Babe Ruth. But he goes, yeah. I said, why are you a Yankee fan? He goes, my grandpa played for the Yankees. And I said, doubt it. And and he was like, no, seriously. I said, oh, what's his name? And he said,
Babe Ruth.
No, he said, yeah, the great Bambino. No, I said, what's your grandpa's name? And he said, Don Larson. And I said, well, that makes sense because your name's Justin Larson. So I go home and I tell my mom. She's like, oh, that's cool. Like, I said, can we look him up? She looks him up and she types in Don Larson, and it says, only person in the entire world to ever throw a perfect game in the World Series. And I was like, what? So then I talked to my baseball coaches about it, and they were like, Don Larson is one of the most famous names in all of baseball. And I said, oh my God. So I asked Justin the next day at school, and I said, man, I want to go to New York so I can meet him. And he goes, he lives with me. And I was like, what? Jeez. So there's like 80-something-year-old Don Larson he was always a drunk. Everybody knows that. He was just an old fucking drunk. He was a drunk when he played, but he threw a perfect game while drunk. People don't realize that. And
I have no doubts.
Yeah. I mean, back then, everybody was fucking wasted.
Still back of the house people here you're talking to. Okay?
Yeah. Still am.
Yeah.
I met him 11 times, and each time I met him and I went over to Justin's house, he signed a Don Larson baseball for me. So I have 11 Don Larson baseballs, and he just died recently, so R.I.P. Don Larson.
May rest where he wants to.
But what's crazy is when they tore down the old Yankee Stadium, they rebuilt the new one across the street, and there's a statue of him pitching to Yogi Berra, 60 whatever feet away, and every Yankee that ever played, baseball, it's like there's like 1,000 baseballs in between. It's really fucking rad. So that's how I became a Yankee fan.
It's a much better story than mine, but I still.
No, yours was right up. Yours was equally as cool.
I still made them win. I still made them win a World Series. So
you are the reason.
I'm the only reason.
Well, that and trash can lids.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Chef Kim, by the way,
Cooking
it up. She just handmade us tater tots. She used no microwave. She used no oven. She
from scratch.
I don't even know. I was about to say she pulled out the flour.
She stirred out.
She grabbed the cilantro.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, those are tater tots.
Yeah. She brought us a bucket of ranch.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
haven't had ranch come up very often in the last few.
Not in the last hour, actually.
It came up right now.
We could talk about ranch. However, this ranch bowl is a cereal bowl full of ranch. And if you were to pour some Lucky Charms in it right now, you would have the best cereal of your life.
Pass me the bong.
Yeah, right?
Oh, Jesus. All right. God, bucket of ranch. I had a ranch story on my mind.
Ranch.
Let's talk about ranch. Do you guys like ranch
yeah.
on your pizza? Do you guys serve ranch at your restaurants?
No, I serve jalapeno ranch at mine.
See, I feel like chefs can never just be like, "Oh, do you want that with balsamic?" It has to be like a strawberry herb gluten-free balsamic. Nobody has ranch. It's always like this aioli and like, you know.
We have a creamy house-made buttermilk dressing
Yeah.
from Hidden Valley.
Gay!
Yeah.
Here's our herb aioli.
How do you make that? You throw 2 packets of Hidden Valley Ranch in a bucket of mayo, pour in some buttermilk, and blend it in a cement mixer.
Okay, so
Sriracha aioli.
speaking of ranch, it's not one of my worst regrets. In fact, it's very far down the list. However, I had convinced a server that I was making some fantastic, like a vichyssoise or, gazpacho, something like that. Like, gonna be served cold, you know, so I just need you like to have a bite of this or whatever. And all it was ranch.
That's what I mean. You guys like come up with words for something. I feel like some. Okay.
It's a
This
flibbity boo.
This is nothing.
boo.
Yeah. This is, yeah. Wait. What's my ex-girlfriend's name?
Yeah.
What's my ex-girlfriend's name again?
Flibbity boo.
No, Bobanga.
Bobanga?
Robanga.
Oh,
Fuck.
What was it?
Jerbob, something.
Bobert.
Bobert.
Bobby.
Jababi.
Jabobber.
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 Tim for the win. Tim for the win. So I was like Alexis, Lauren, Jessica, Mary, Jabobber. I'm like, also one of those is actually my ex-girlfriend's. I hope it's. He's like, I hope it's Jabobber.
Jabobber.
I was like, actually, it's Jababi.
Bobby.
Anyway, Jababi. She made the best ranch.
Probably still is.
Yeah, that's probably her last name, right? Jababi Hidden Valley.
No, she did now.
Well, that valley wasn't so hidden now, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, ranch. Oh.
Jababi
That's what I'm saying. Though.
Buttermilk Hidden Valley.
I feel like, listen, this is nothing to say against chefs, but I feel like y'all come up with these words just to make your shit sound more appealing.
Yeah, charge by the
yeah,
syllable.
And I don't work for you guys, so I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Charge
'Cause
by the syllable.
If I worked for you guys, I wouldn't be here right now. Oh, this is my chef.
You'd be working Sunday night because we want to
This-
share, not you.
This is Chef Pinche Kevin.
AJ Kevin. Yeah.
See, but
Captain
that's not
fuck
the
ass.
rule. You know, I've like partied with lots of front of house people. It's just not a lot, just a small group, but
An appropriate amount.
Yeah,
That thing they could swim with chefs.
Right.
there's not like a front and back like line when you leave the restaurant. It doesn't matter. It's just most front of house can't hang with the back of house. They just like physically can't. They pass out.
So
They just can't.
OD.
So yeah. So the last
Go
few,
off and get famous.
the last few restaurants
Yeah.
that I've worked at, apparently, like any management, any chef, any owner is not allowed to hang out with servers. And
Servers get pregnant that way.
I don't. Well, here's the,
But how does the back of house get laid?
okay. So here's where I was. This is exactly where I was going. So it's like a big no-no for like in the past like 4 restaurants I've worked in New York. It's like a big no-no for like the assistant managers, the regular managers, the chef. Not the cooks. The cooks can do whatever they want.
Okay.
But,
Try to tell them not to.
the chef, the owners, and the assistant managers and the GMs are not really allowed. And I don't know who makes that fucking rule. But they're not
Probably
really allowed to
because they
hang
have
out.
a better party that they all go
HR.
to together.
It's HR.
It's like, we're not allowed to hang out with you guys, which, coincidentally,
Yeah.
accidentally means you guys can't hang out with us.
Yeah,
So
but
sorry
yeah,
about
You
that.
guys drink well vodka, we drink absinthe. You know.
Yeah.
But like Tim said, how does anybody get fucked? I was like, that's what I'm saying. So, like, it was just a big no-no, which is a good, I see a big no-no, and I'm like, sign me the fuck up. So check this out. I was working at a place, and I can't say the place just in case she still works there. Let's call it Taco Bell.
Sure.
Find out next week. He wasn't lying. It was Taco Bell.
It was Taco Bell.
So I'm working at a fancy Taco Bell in Brooklyn. I can't say where because Taco Bell, they don't have Taco Bells really in Brooklyn.
Right?
So get this. I had a thing for the HR lady.
Oh, nice.
And let's say her name was Gordita, okay? All right.
Yeah, Gordita
All right, so
Taco Bell,
yeah.
okay.
So I was working at Taco Bell, wink, wink, and the HR lady, Gordita, was like.
So she's a big girl, huh?
It's just small. It's,
she wasn't.
Gordo would be big girl. Gordita's small. Well.
Yeah, some weird body parts going on, but like she was.
She had two shells. One
she had
in
those,
her
like,
shell that was soft, and one outer shell.
You know,
that was
like
hard.
you know how you have like nice nipples. You know you have nice nipples, and then you have like pepperoni nipples. Listen, if there's nice nipples and then there's pepperoni nipples, she had like the entire pizza nipple. Okay.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
All right. So get this. So I'm working at Taco Bell.
2 tortillas, like I said,
Yeah.
2 tortillas.
I'm working at Taco Bell, aka a very nice restaurant. I'm hanging out with Gordita. Well, I'm not hanging out with Gordita, but Gordita makes me sign all the papers about sexual harassment. And
She's
also,
obviously coming on to you.
Also, she's wearing like a fucking dress you wear at a fucking club, okay? She was so goddamn sexy, this Gordita. And I was like, yo. And we were just eye fucking each other, and I was like, this is gonna be rad. Anyway, long story short, I ended up working at Taco Bell for 6 months. So funny talking about it like it's Taco Bell. It's a very fancy restaurant. So I ended up working at Taco Bell, and somehow, some way, I forget, but I got Gordita's number, and she hit me up, and she wanted to go to a Mets game. And I'm like, yo, that means she's trying to fuck. So Gordita HR takes me to Citi Field in Queens, and we go to this Mets game. Here's the craziest part of this story. I had lost a bet that I would go September sober, and it was a big bet. So I went September super sober. Gordita was like fucking wasted and just trying to have a good time, and she goes, do you want to come to the Mets game with me? And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll go to the Mets game with you. Go to the Mets game, but I'm drinking like Sprite and Coca-Cola and having Cracker Jacks, and she's over here like a fucking real baseball woman, just like chugging Bud Light and hot dogs.
Yelling
And I
at
was
Bobby
like,
Valentine.
Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, brother. You know what I mean? Also, Gordita was a girl, so, you know. HR Gordita takes me back to her apartment that night. We end up hooking up, but we don't have sex.
The 6-layer burrito.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Turn into the Nacho Supreme real quick. So we end up hooking up, but it was very odd because neither one of us knew where we should stop. Meaning, like, while we're like kind of hooking up, it started off as like very 8th grade dry humping, right? Which is great. You know, never underestimate dry humping, okay? I know most of y'all are probably like, yo, I'm just trying to fuck. Dude, if you have a good makeout, hot session dry hump, it's almost like before the finale. I was like, oh my, I almost came from the dry hump session, okay?
You're also completely sober, so...
yeah, exactly! Right? Exactly!
Like in 8th grade.
Yeah, I felt like I was in 8th grade, you know? And you know...
Oh, hopped up on Cracker Jacks, dry humping over here.
God, I think I had too much Coke. So anyway, we're dry humping and we're having a blast. I mean, and by we, I mean me. And I don't know where to take it because she's HR Gordita. And I, you know, just somehow, some way, my cock comes out.
Oh, slipped.
Oops. Anyway, it comes out and she gives me a blowjob and it's fantastic. And I think she decided she was going to stop there because we had gone a little too far for HR and server employee handbook. So the next day I go to work, she's there and I have to play dumb and I'm like, hey, what's up? How's it going? And she like wouldn't even talk to me. And I was like, oh, this is bad. And then I literally, she was like, if you ever tell anybody, of course, within 30 seconds, it's a restaurant industry. I was like, hey, Tim, can I talk to you real quick? And he's like, yeah. I was like, all right.
Walking. I got something to tell you.
Right. So here's my biggest mistake in the restaurant industry. Same way, the restaurant industry is very much like high school. But it's like, hey, I'm going to tell you something, and you can't tell anybody. Yeah. So, like, you know, I tell Tim, dude, I just got a blowjob from Gordita.
AJ got a blowjob from Gordita?
No.
He got a full 6-layer burrito?
No.
Well, damn, I want one now. I'm going to HR. I got a complaint.
No, I'm going to Taco Bell. No, so I told Tim, and I was like, you can't tell anybody. And he's like, I would never. So then all of a sudden I go get my friend Nereo, And I was like, hey, man, can I talk to you for a second? Go on the walk-in, and I'm like, hey, man, I just got a blowjob from Gordita. And he's just like, what?
I know. Tim told me. I
was like, don't tell anybody. And then I'm like, hey, I got to go. I was like, Ryan, can I talk to you for a minute? I personally went through the whole staff, and there's like 19 people. I'm talking to the cooks, the owners. Hey, sir, I know you own this restaurant. Can I talk to you for a second? I just got the best blowjob from Gordita.
You have the best HR person ever.
Right, exactly. So long story short.
She is the best resource I have personally ever had as a human.
Yeah. So at the very end, a week goes by, and I come to work, and like people were like, "Yo, dude, like I heard you got blown by who?" And I said, "Who the fuck told you?" And they said, "You did." And I was like, "Oh, shit." So it wasn't like it got around. I was just the person that told everybody.
You were the contagion.
And then like a week later, when everybody was talking about it, I was like, "How the fuck does everybody know?" And they're like, "You've told everybody in this restaurant."
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I didn't get fired because guess why?
You got a blowjob from HR.
Oh, hello.
But I mean, what happens between two consenting adults outside of work shouldn't matter anyways.
Well, all right, let's talk about that, gentlemen. Let's talk about hooking up with people in your establishment that are two adults.
Well, I really do my very best to steer away from that because there's no such thing as like a consensual, like or I guess casual. It's not casual anymore. Like once it hooks up with a person you work with, you're always going to see them. They're always around. There's always going to be like awkward. Like somebody's wondering if somebody's favoring somebody else or whatever. I mean, it's never casual is what I meant to say. It's just it's something that happens.
Well, you know me. I'm just slaying all them hoes.
Dusty's wife's sitting right next to us, by the way.
That's completely a joke. I've been married forever.
And her name is Chef
Kim.
Chef Kim?
Master of tater tots.
Tater tots.
Okay, well, Dusty's got to go, y'all. I guess we're going to pick it up with Tim and Jeff here.
I guess you could probably charge more for those if you call them American gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
American gnocchi.
Yeah, just put a little bit of pasta sauce over this.
Yeah.
I like how I just called it pasta sauce.
You know what the pasta sauce is, right?
You know what that
Rotel
really
tomatoes and fucking Velveeta cheese.
Mary comes in, Velveeta?
It's queso, we call it here.
Tim, what'd you say?
Oh, what would really set that off? Some shaved black truffle. Come on. Who doesn't need that on everything?
Okay, so here's a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier.
You
all of a sudden,
our black truffle tater.
Exactly. All of a sudden,
joke.
it's like you just make tater tots, and all of a sudden, a chef goes, "Why don't you toss some black truffle on there? We'll call them Becky's
truffle tots."
Yeah, Becky's truffle tots.
So you just
Becky's famous truffle tots.
Go in there, and that's just golden right there.
Dude,
Doesn't even matter if they mean anything with it. Just put a French word in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, just put in the word gold. What do you guys have those things that you can eat? I used to have crispy rice, right, where it's just like very nigiri-like, and it would be like hamachi over a crispy rice with real rice, topped with, what was the last thing you just said? Truffle, black truffle, and then they put some gold like links on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the gold eating thing is
Yeah, the gold eating something.
so 2000s.
Yeah, that was like sushi. You guys ever remember sushi samba?
I remember hearing of it. I've never been
it was
to one.
well, it was on like Sex and the City and whatnot. Oh, my mic's all tweaking out.
Tweaking on the mic.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that as far as the gold links. But yeah, chefs I feel like can just, which I think is a smart move.
Oh yeah.
You just you if you word it differently, if somebody has to go like this, oh, what is that? Or ask a server.
It piques curiosity.
It piques curiosity, and with curiosity comes, I'm gonna buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, charged by the syllable.
And there's also the thing too. Like I used to do it all the time, mainly for you guys, because like Jeff says, charged by the syllable. Like you guys in the front, I know could make more money off of a fucking like $6 happy hour fries if I sell them to you as some fucking like truffle shit or some fancy shit like that. You add in all the fancy words you can.
And like the obvious eye rolls, like, oh my God, it's so good. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I watched him create this dish first on a piece of paper, and then he let me taste it when he actually cooked it. It took like 3 weeks to get the truffles in from fucking wherever, you know.
Man, I was working at this restaurant. Oh, the same restaurant with Gordita at Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Yeah. I can't use the real word of this restaurant, but it is one of the greatest restaurants in Brooklyn.
Nice.
We used to have this thing called Duck and Waffles. And
Sounds
I'm
great.
looking at it and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, and we had chefs from New Orleans and all that kind of stuff.
But I thought ducks waddled, not waffles.
I don't know, but it was like, oh, duck leg confit. And I'd be like, what the fuck is confit? You know, and they would just not lie to us, but they would make us like, you know, oh, y'all know the special today? So it'd be like
Confit.
confit, yeah. It'd be like,
confit.
oh, you got to have the duck and waffles. It's 2 buttermilk waffles topped with duck confit, topped with a quail egg on top of it, served with our house chef's maple syrup. And the best way to eat this is you want to crack the egg. And it, first of all, it was delicious. So I'm not talking shit. It was like the best thing I've ever had.
Oh, I believe that.
But it was the approach that we would have to tell these, you know,
Oh, yeah.
customers. And I used to always be like, dude, I can't memorize this shit. And I had a test that was like 200 fucking questions long. And if I got one allergy wrong, you know what I mean? It was so fucked up. And I had to, you know, I had that reminder. Anything soy is gluten. And
Well,
that was really hard for me to, I mean, for the most part, you know, that was really hard for me to understand.
Yeah, to wrap around.
Yeah, and then it was, you know, you have your, you know, shellfish allergy. You have your, you know, dairy allergy. You have your soy allergy. You have your gluten allergy.
Peanut allergy.
You know, I mean,
Your
human
main
allergy.
look, you gentlemen
Human
seem
allergy?
you
Allergic to dick. I've seen that a lot.
yeah. You
I'm
gentlemen,
allergic to stupid people.
yeah.
Yeah, that falls under the.
You should put that on a T-shirt.
I've seen you break
yeah.
out before.
You gentlemen seem like you've been in the kitchen for, you know, at least 10, 20 plus years. Let's talk about that real quick. When did America become so soft? And what I mean by that is nowadays it feels like nobody knew what the fuck gluten free was 10 years ago. Okay,
so
and
Except
now
for celiac.
and yeah, but fuck them.
Celiacs knew what gluten-free was because they actually do get violently ill and could
Yeah.
potentially.
So you think
have some
think
really bad
gluten
things.
free just became more of a style than an actual sickness?
actually, what I think it came down to is people are actually allergic to the pesticides they use in a lot of the wheat farms or whatever, you know. And after like a couple of decades, you know, of different chemicals coming out, maybe in the 70s or 80s, that's where things started to get like a little bit like iffy as far as like the gluten-free shit, you know, the celiacs. But if you want to ask where the problem started, I'll obviously tell you. It's fucking obviously
fucking
Nancy Reagan. Fuck Nancy Reagan, seriously.
Nancy Reagan. I think,
Mary comes in. You know Nancy.
you know Nancy.
Oh, Nance.
You know Nancy.
I think, I think a lot of it came from just, people fucking not being happy with the way they're shitting and attributing it to a lot. Because I've had a lot, even at the barbecue place. That was my favorite at the barbecue place, is we had a lady who was
Here we
a
go.
regular, and she comes in 3 times a week and just loads down on the barbecue, and she's like telling the owner one day, she's like, I think I might be allergic to something in y'all's barbecue. Like, why is that? Like, I just, you know, every time I come here, it just blows right through me. And it's like, lady, you just ate a pound of greasy ass brisket covered in sauce with
Every
some
other
mac
day
and
for
cheese.
months now.
Yeah,
Oh my
like you were
God.
here way too often. Like this,
Ma'am, you
is
come
not
here
good
for
you.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You literally have consumed like 100 cows since we opened.
And what's funny is every night we ask you what kind of cocktail you like, and you, for some reason, just say a glass of milk.
Milk. Yeah.
New Jersey,
okay.
am I right? Just kidding. Oh, man.
Yeah, well, like Nancy Reagan, she started like the big old push for like the food pyramid to be reconstructed, basically to readjust how people.
I thought
think
she
about
made
eating.
the food pyramid.
I-
Wasn't she the one that made the
Wait,
food pyramid?
the one you have in second grade when you're just like,
Yeah, because that was, it was,
here's your dose of bread. Here's your dose of
Only
like,
this much
peanuts. You know, 8 glasses of water
remember,
a day.
a spoonful
Nancy-
of sugar washes the spoonful of fat down.
Oh my God, folks! If you're listening right now, Nancy Reagan made the food pyramid.
And the Egyptian pyramids. I am confident of both of those things.
Old Nance did that, huh?
Oh, man, yeah.
Fucking overachievers.
That broad was
Old Nan's
fantastic.
Yeah, she got a lot done.
Yeah.
Oh my god! That is
But not Ronald.
But not Ronald.
No,
yeah.
Ronald's like, bye. That is the greatest thing you've said this entire. I said, oh yeah, if you're just listening, oh yeah, Nancy Reagan made the food pyramids, and then in your accent, and the fucking Egyptian pyramids.
It's true. There is evidence.
Oh my god!
Hey, speaking of the kid from New York, did you happen to see the new Borat movie with the America's Mayor on there?
I have not. Did that just come out?
I think it did.
Yeah, I think it came out on Friday. I don't know what day. Sunday.
Brand new Borat.
Right. That's
Yeah.
only.
You can tell somebody's not working because they're watching new movies on the release dates.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, dude, how bad's your fucking knee?
I literally can't do anything.
I know.
Like, I even have to have my mother bring me a glass of water because
Oh
I
my
can't carry it
God.
and use crutches.
I can't wait till tomorrow till I probably say what's up to you and you'll be like, did you hear about Justin Bieber and his wife? What? You have way too much time on your hands.
Did you see the Frozen sequel?
He's like,
Yes.
it's not even out yet.
I got that bootleg China movie.
Hey, hello.
I got that connection, I got them hookups.
Them hookups.
Okay, next question. Restaurants, chefs, pandemic. How has this, right? Very, like whatever kind of question. But I don't want to know, how's it affected your restaurant and are you as busy as you? We all know the fucking answer to that. I'm curious as to you three chefs. How has pandemic affected you mentally? Meaning like you guys are so used to like working X amount of days, X amount of hours, blah, blah, blah. Like, and you guys are so fucking busy. It's not normal for a chef to kind of have moments and time to like slow down and figure shit out. So I want all three of you to answer this question. How has this COVID-19 affected you individually and like your mental health of like, holy shit, I never saw this coming and here's what I've done with it. Jeff, you're first.
All right, I got no problem rocking and rolling this. I mean, fuck, man. Like, we started this whole, like, production company that we're doing, Halle Boys. We started due, like, to the pandemic. Cause
No, we started before the pandemic, actually.
Right before, yeah. Right before. However,
Kind of
I
morphed.
I had about 6 weeks off, before I was called back. Dusty worked all the way through. I know that. Okay, mental health-wise, whatever. I'll bob and weave. I'll get through it. I'm a survivor. I got no problems. I'm interested in like the way that it's affected carry-out, curbside service, like making kits basically, pizza kits, taco kits, whatever, to go. That's different. We're burning through like a lot of more disposable containers,
Oh, so many more.
Yeah. As far as
Yeah, we're killing them turtles,
one thing I was thinking about like really recently,
I heard that.
as in like this morning or
Just screaming,
yesterday,
fuck the turtles.
Fuck the turtles. Yeah.
is
It makes me see turtle soup.
I used to date a girl named Turtle.
Was that before or after fucking Joe
Berta?
Bobber?
Jill Bobber. All right, go on.
Bobby.
One thing I was thinking about, like this morning or yesterday morning, one of the two. It's been a weekend, I don't know, but watching like the COVID case numbers climb. God, that's a tough one. Just seeing like those numbers climb, like different, like
COVID case numbers climb.
yeah, like
Unique New York.
I'm not gonna try that one. Just seeing those numbers climb and no one still knows what's going on. They just keep on reporting numbers and shit like that. That kind of like drags on me a little bit mentally because I'm like, okay, we all know there's no cure, no vaccine, nothing yet. People are working on it. They're trying to make up rules the best they can think about it.
I've heard
they keep on
midget
reporting
blood in the full moonlight.
Oh, sure.
It sounds like you got another podcast
I
going
mean,
on.
it could be just a myth, but
No, but seeing like those numbers climb and nothing is certain still, it gets kind of like to be like a mentally downer. It's like every day, like, okay, we got 8 more new cases. So in our county, in our city, I'm still like a pretty neurotic person, always have been. I wash my hands all the fucking day, no matter what, I bark at people for getting too close to me to begin with, So, I mean, it hasn't really changed my lifestyle. It's just more important that I keep on doing that stuff. But watching shit like that is out of anyone's control, keep on climbing, it's a fucking bummer, dude. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. Yeah. Fuck yeah, that's a great response. Let's go with Tim.
Well,
he's like, I can't work right now.
Well, actually, I got
he's like, I'm crippled right now. So next, no, but I mean, come on, this.
But
I know
the
this has
one
been
thing that
going
was the
on for a
biggest
while.
bummer with the whole COVID thing is, as a chef, and at that point I'd been working, pretty much. I was working. How many jobs did I have? 3 jobs, I think. I was working.
I saw you bust out 3. I've seen you do like triple shifts before.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I was working at a restaurant, 2 restaurants, and a bar. So I would, like, on really crazy holidays, whatever, I'd go to work at 8 in the morning. I wouldn't get off of work until 3 in the morning, and I'd have like maybe a 2-hour break in between. And that was really, I mean, it was pretty taxing. It sucked.
Were you doing drugs?
So, no drugs. I mean, if you consider alcohol until...
Well, did you buy any drugs?
No, well, sometimes. It wasn't,
All right, I know your mom's sitting next to you. All right, keep going.
it wasn't all the time. But yeah, I mean, that shit sucks. So it was kind of nice to get that break. However, at the beginning, it was pretty nerve-wracking and iffy because, like, I couldn't buy fucking shit paper. I couldn't buy anything. And all the bars were closed, so I was kind of, depressed on that whole thing. Like,
Right.
I finally have time off, but I can't go do what I like to do.
And at what point was this? Like, what month would you say where it got bad? I'm actually really curious about it because after I asked Dusty about it, I want to talk about that kind of depression thing during a time like this.
Well, I mean, I guess for us, it started in March, I think, is when we kind of had everything go to shit.
Yeah,
Day
St. Patty's
before
Day.
St. Patty's Day.
That's how.
That's
how I got it.
So I also live above the bar that I drank at and worked at, and I also would hang out with the owner all the time. So there was like a good portion of nights where I just go down to the bar with the owner and drink in the bar that I normally drink in, and it was kind of like really sad and depressing that it's me, sometimes Jeff, and the owner of the bar, and I felt so bad for the owner because he couldn't do anything. And even when the economy started to open back up and whatever, they couldn't open the bar. And they also couldn't really use the PPE, PPL. I don't know what the fucking loans are called.
Right.
But he couldn't really use those because he had a staff of 7 people or whatever. And they can't pay themselves with that. And they can only do so much upkeep or whatever.
Right.
And they can't also just be like, all right, guess what? We have $40,000 that we just got. Here's $10,000 each, guys. And
Sure.
they couldn't do it like that either. So it was just kind of heartbreaking on some of that stuff. And also seeing a lot of the closures around town for restaurants especially. I mean, the restaurants that closed were not doing that well. One of the restaurants I worked at in town closed recently.
They weren't doing that well anyway.
They weren't doing that well anyway.
Right.
But, I mean, they weren't struggling, but they definitely... Everybody in the restaurant business, when you open your door, you're struggling until you sell that restaurant. I mean, it's not a lucrative business per se at all. Like, it's not even nickels and dimes anymore.
Right.
It's like pennies and parts of pennies.
So you were talking about, you're like, oh yeah, I kind of got like depressed a little bit. Were you just talking about working for 21 hours straight every single day to all of a sudden having all this time?
Well, also just the fact that like the things that I would normally do on my off time I couldn't do. So I didn't really know how to.
What do you do? What do you do on your off time? Are you talking about just like drinking and shit, fucking around?
When you work 70 hours a week and all of a sudden you've got like 2 months of free time with yourself.
Then he's stuck hanging out with me and Jeff all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd be depressed if I knew these fuckers as well.
Oh, you will be. You will be.
Also, for anybody listening to this, I was supposed to be here for 2 days. It's already been 5. Now I got to stay another 4, and I'm about to be going on 20 years shortly here. So, Durango, here I come out of nowhere.
What kept you in town, or what made that happen? I'm just curious.
So I've been traveling for like 8 to 9 weeks now from Brooklyn. I was telling you earlier, I went to Lake Tahoe with like 10 best friends, and that was supposed to be the trip. I was supposed to just go to Tahoe for 10 days and then fly back to Brooklyn. But what you're talking about like everything is now shut down. Like, I'm for sure an alcoholic, and I love people and I love chatting. And what I was telling somebody was, I always thought that New York City was the greatest city in the world because it was New York City. And what happened is we had the biggest lockdown of all time.
Yeah, it's still going on.
It's still going on. They put us on like, all right, no bars, like they just, gave you tickets if you were out after 8 p.m. at night, right? And, that lockdown happened and just really fucked me up. And I don't even know. I knew going into it I wasn't probably mentally tough enough for that because I like to, solve my problems by drinking. I like to solve my problems by fucking girls. I like to solve my problems by doing some drugs. I like to solve my problems by just, yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, I did all that at the same restaurant. Just kidding.
What a Taco Bell.
Yeah. Best Taco Bell ever.
Don't tell me it had a KFC in it, too.
No, but it had a Pizza Hut.
It had a Pizza Hut. That was down there at the Pizza Hut.
Speaking
KFC,
of Pizza Hut, that's
Taco
another
Bell,
story.
yeah.
She was fantastic. So I ended up, because my friends in San Francisco, where I was originally from, were on lockdown-ish. So we all decided, like, fuck this, and we all went to Lake Tahoe. All 10 of us, we grew up with each other. And I realized after Tahoe, I was like, this has been such a change from Brooklyn, and I needed this fresh air. And, being in New York for 10 years and never really traveling anywhere, I was like, this has done wonders for my mental health, and it's done wonders just for life. And I was like, all right, well, I'm from San Francisco and San Jose, might as well go there and see my high school buddies. Went and did that. And then I was like, oh, all my friends, acting friends from New York live in LA now. Let me go see them while I'm at it. After that, I was like, my mom moved to San Diego. Let me go say hi to her and my sisters. After that, I was like, let's go blue fucking tuna fishing off the coast of Mexico, because why the fuck not?
Why not? Yeah.
And we did that, and that was the scariest, most fun trip of my life. And then after that, I was like, all right, I think I'm ready to go to New York, but not anytime soon, so I'll slowly make my way back. So I ended up in Scottsdale. Once I was in Scottsdale, I had a good friend of mine who's an ASU professor, and I knew him from New York. And he's just out there. He's like, he lived in New York. He's like, fuck New York, dude. I'm at ASU. I'm teaching at ASU now. Life's better. Yeah. Also, fuck Arizona.
Hey, I just don't like ASU.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was.
Yeah, but the girls in Old Town Scottsdale are the best looking women I've ever seen. So they said, well, fuck, I was like, I'm only going to be here for 2 days. I ended up there for a week. Once I got there, they said, where to next? And I said, I don't know, maybe fucking Denver. I want to go see some mountains. And a few bartenders were like, the fuck did you say, Denver? And I said, yeah. They're like, that's a big fucking city, man. They want to be Colorado. And I said, well, where the fuck should I go? And this sexy this is how it all started. This is why I'm here right now. This sexy fucking girl, let's call her Pizza Hut. She said, nah, you got to go to fucking Durango. And she doesn't talk like that, but she said, you got to go to Durango. And I was like, what? Where's that? And she was like, oh, just like, near Telluride. I was like, bitch, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. And I, out of nowhere, I got on some sketchy ass 14-seater plane, and I flew into Durango, and I was like this, oh, can't wait to piss and eat some dinner here at the airport. I got out. It wasn't even a fucking airport. It's a fucking tent. And what I mean, the same guy that here's what Durango Airport's like. For those of you who are not from here, which is all you New Yorkers that are going to listen to this when I make you. So we have JFK and we have, LaGuardia, the biggest airports on the fucking planet. Okay, when you land in Durango, or let's say you're flying out of Durango, the same guy at TSA that checks your fucking boarding pass and your ID is the same motherfucker patting you down. Okay? There's nothing. So I flew in. That was sketchy as fuck. And now I'm here, and I'm supposed to be here for a day or two, and it's been like day 6 or day 5. Probably stay here for 10 more years.
Yeah, see you in 2040.
See you, 2040 BC. Oh, where the fuck? Yeah. Virgin Mary comes out. You made it.
You made it.
Jersey Mary, not Virgin Mary.
Virgin Mary.
So, Tim, to answer your question, sorry, I just went off board there. But yeah, man, it's really tough in New York right now, and the coolest thing, I guess, over the summer was we kind of just had what New Orleans had, where it's like alcohol to go. So all of a sudden, you take a city like New York, and now we can drink in the streets. And I remember tweeting Cuomo. It's like, we're never going back. You understand this, right? So now New York, whenever it's good again, we're going to be twice of a shit show. But because of the recent spikes, they're on lockdown again, and they're doing it at a very terrible time meaning anybody in New York, has to go through a lot of shit because it's one thing to like, go for a couple walks in the summer and go get to-go drinks. If it's November and December and there's just blizzards every day, they're not doing outdoor drinks anymore, and nobody's grabbing drinks to go. And if they're not allowing you to eat inside and drink inside, what do you have as a city? So just to bring it back real quick, and I'll shut up about it. You took the greatest city I thought in the world, and you took everything away. So when I said I thought it was New York City,
the city away.
You thought when I thought it was New York City I liked, it turns out it was the New Yorkers. It was the people that I liked, because when you took everything away from us, all the drinking, all the fun, all the restaurants, and it was a ghost town. It was the scariest, sketchiest place, most depressing place to be when you took out all the fun. That's all.
Fucking Christ, I could see that.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it like that, but that makes a lot of sense, And
So AJ, you don't know any of us then?
Say it again.
You don't know like you. I thought you knew Jeff or
Dusty prior to.
I just met Dusty right after I met you.
We go way back.
No.
Yeah,
We
way
go back
to
from Odessa, Texas.
we go back to like
He used to work at
3
30
hours
p.m.
ago, 5:30.
Yeah, no, he used to work HR at Taco Bell.
Yeah. Turns out,
Yeah, this is her. No, so to answer your question, I met Jeff 3 nights ago. I met you 2 hours ago, and I met Dusty like 45 minutes after you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's awesome. That actually makes it even better. I didn't realize that because I haven't. I didn't know what
shit.
was what on.
Because it's going so fluently.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's actually really awesome. I like that a whole lot more, actually.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like thinking about it, like episode 17, 18, something like that, and we've always had somebody who's been associated with one of the three of us. Me, Dusty, or Tim. And this is like the first time. Like, well, it's about time we open the door to a stranger. Hopefully, he didn't bring that COVID with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more afraid of murder hornets.
Oh.
I'm more afraid of Buckhorn, the limousine service.
They'll get you.
Shout out Bishop. Oh, man. Break time.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well, you guys want to wrap it up, or should we take a break?
Who knows?
Well, let's take a wrap up, and if we pop back on, we'll pop back on.
All right. And what he means by that is the bar closes at midnight, so we got to get going here very shortly if we want to have some
25-minute walk, but it's all downhill from
here. If we want to have some purple fuckers.
There are purple
all right,
fuckers.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. It's nice meeting you all. So happy to be here.
Thank you for fucking coming on, AJ.
Yeah.
It's great to have you as a guest, man.
For sure.
Don't forget Chef Kim.
Chef Kim.
Oh,
in
fantastic.
the background.
Knocking off that American Noki.
Fantastic.
American Noki.
All right, I got to pee and smoke a cigarette.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Still Jeff, Just Dusty, and Fat Chef Tim signing off.
Later.
Don't forget, subscribe and shit.